Hello, you're watching KREX 5 News at 10 p.m.
Good evening and thank you for watching KREX 5 News. I'm Jocelyn Stafford. The two-gun PCC Pistol Nationals have come to the Cameo Shooting Complex in Palisade, but the event, said to bring in a big economic boost to the community, is closed to the public and the media. Rob Hagan has the story.
The two-gun nationals have finally come to the Cameo Complex, sponsored by the United States Practical Shooting Association. A day the general manager has waited years for.
We're looking to hopefully get the USPSA Nationals here, which would bring 1,000 people to town for a week. And really, that demographic is really great spenders, great tourism dollars for the area.
That was in 2018 when the Cameo Complex was open to the public. Years later, the contest off of Exit 45, expected to drive economic growth for the community, is closed to the public.
Bay 4 isn't where the shooters are competing in the two-gun PCC Pistol Nationals. That's because access to the contest has been restricted to only the competitors and their guests. Because of that, there's still many things we don't know about the contest, including when the contest starts, how many competitors are in the contest, and most importantly, if high-capacity magazines that are illegal in Colorado are used in the contest.
They come here from different other events in states where they allow a larger capacity magazine round. They come here, they do the shooting event, and they move on.
But one thing we do know is the controversy all started because of a letter sent from the sheriff.
Worried about competitors and what they have in their bag. I'm not interested in that.
A letter from Raul DePrue in April claims difficulty enforcing the law, states the sheriff's office won't seek out what he refers to as law-abiding citizens to verify the statute, and instructs Prue to share the letter with other competitive shooters. The sheriff sent the letter just weeks after a bill making exceptions for competitions failed to pass.
Once you open that door with one little exception, people are going to drive a train through it.
Colorado Ceasefire works closely with Colorado lawmakers to enact gun reform measures. One of those lawmakers is State Senator Rhonda Fields, who sponsored the magazine limit law that took effect on July 1st, 2013. The inspiration came after the Aurora shooting in July 2012, when a gunman using a 100-round drum magazine killed 12 people in 90 seconds.
His goal was one thing, was to kill as many people as he could in a shorter matter of time.
Even though we try to do efforts to stop these from happening again and again and again, that people for their sporting purposes are willing to just evade the law or skirt the law.
CPW owns Cameo and claims participants will be required to sign an affidavit they're in compliance with Colorado's laws, which ban magazines with more than 15 rounds with few exceptions. First on the Western Slope, Rob Hagan, KREX 5 News.
The event, taking place at the Cameo Shooting and Education Complex, will last through Sunday. About 200 competitors are expected to be at the contest, paying an entrance fee of $295 each. In other news, Colorado's former Secretary of State and Mesa County's former county clerk have once again been appointed as election advisors for the county. Today's announcement comes after a judge barred Mesa County's indicted clerk, Tina Peters, from overseeing this year's elections. Colorado's Secretary of State Jenna Griswold is announcing former Secretary of State Wayne Williams, along with former Mesa County Clerk Sheila Reiner, who now serves as County Treasurer, will assist and advise County Elections Director Brandy Bance for the June 28th primary as needed. Peters is being prosecuted for allegedly providing unauthorized access to voting equipment, a breach that led to a public release of sensitive information. Peters has denied those charges. And two men have been arrested in relation to a string of car break-ins at local trailheads in the Colorado National Monument. Earlier this month, Mesa County deputies responded to assist rangers on the National Monument with a traffic stop. Two men were arrested, 28-year-old Armando Roman Vasquez and 30-year-old Piero Morris Sanchez, both of New York. Deputies recovered stolen property from recent car break-ins. Investigators have determined the pair are responsible for breaking into locked cars and even disabling the alarm systems at Independence Monument Trailhead, Liberty Cab Trailhead, Coke Ovens Overlook, and Chapita Golf Course. Authorities say the two men also matched those seen in surveillance video using stolen credit cards from recent thefts at local businesses. The two men are facing a long list of charges. And if you drove through Mack this morning, you may have wondered why so many state troopers surrounded the highway. Well, officials with the State Patrol tell us Utah's Highway Patrol asked them to watch for two men in a Chevy SUV around 9 this morning. Colorado troopers laid out stop strips and intercepted the SUV at around 9:30. They arrested the two men inside, although one ran off into a nearby field. Troopers caught him again just before noon. Both men are booked into the Mesa County Jail but have not yet been identified. There's also no word on what they were wanted for. We'll keep you posted. And the congressional committee investigating the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol held its first public hearing this evening. Natalie Brand is on Capitol Hill with the details.
In a rare primetime hearing, the Select House Committee investigating the January 6th Capitol attack began laying out what it has learned so far.
Donald Trump oversaw and coordinated a sophisticated 7-part plan to overturn the presidential election and prevent the transfer of presidential power.
The committee revealed video never before seen by the public.
I am not allowed to say what's going to happen today because everyone's just going to have to watch.
As it played, tears flowed for Officer Harry Dunn, who helped defend the Capitol, and Sandra Garza, the girlfriend of Officer Brian Sicknick, who died the day after the attack.
What I saw was just a war scene.
The panel also heard testimony from U.S. Capitol Police Officer Caroline Edwards, who suffered a traumatic brain injury that day.
I mean, I saw friends with blood all over their faces. I was slipping in people's blood. I just remember that moment of stepping behind the line and just seeing the absolute war zone that the West Front had become.
The committee has interviewed around 1,000 witnesses, including some of former President Trump's family. But several of his allies have fought subpoenas, including House GOP leader Kevin McCarthy.
And let's be honest, it is a smokescreen for Democrats to push their radical agenda.
Last May, Senate Republicans blocked the creation of a nonpartisan committee that would have given both parties subpoena power and delivered a report by the end of 2021. Instead, the House Select Committee's next hearing is Monday, with several more this month. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Turning back to local news, the Fraternal Order of Police hopes Grand Valley residents will assist an officer who has fallen ill. To help the officer pay medical bills, they've created a fundraising account. The fundraiser was set up to help Officer Isaac Gallegos after he suffered a serious medical emergency in April. Officer Gallegos has served our community since 2007, co-chairing this year's Intimate Partner Violence Awareness Conference and advocating heavily for domestic violence victims.
He's been a vital part of our department since 2007. He's a single dad with 3 kids, so his mom and stepdad have been traveling weekly to Denver, staying the entire week with them and then come home because they run a church here in town as well. He is improving daily. He can at least listen to responses from the doctors about raise your right hand, raise your left hand. He's able to do that, so we're hopeful that he's going to make a full recovery, but he's got a long road to go yet.
For more information about the fundraiser, go to our website, westernslopenow.com. And Colorado Parks and Wildlife is confirming a man, woman, and a dog were all injured after being charged by a moose near Nederland, about 16 miles outside Boulder. Greg Nieto has more.
As you make your way atop this stretch of Boulder County, it doesn't take long to figure out that Nederland is known for moose. After 17 years of living here,
5 miles down from West Mag where the attack was. Come on.
Tracy Ross's family can tell you that from firsthand experience.
He was terrified.
Her husband's moose encounter just a few days ago.
The moose would not let up. It was a cow with a calf.
Happened to a Nederland couple just a few hours ago.
We received a phone call for a possible moose trampling.
Nederland Fire Protection District Captain Charlie Schmidtman among the first responders to arrive on scene this morning.
It sounded like the people were trapped by the moose and unable to move.
Warning shots fired, he says. A few minutes later, he's able to get closer to law enforcement and a Boulder County Sheriff deputy. That's when the captain says he saw a cow moose acting aggressively toward a couple and their dogs.
The moose was getting close, and the moose was angry and made multiple attempts at charging both myself as well as the two patients, which were basically locked down and unable to move.
Ultimately, given no choice, Captain Schmidtman says the sheriff deputy had to take final measures.
Moose proceeded, and he really had no choice.
The moose was put down. Tough news to hear for residents like Tracy Ross.
Moose, even though they are so huge, they are so quiet.
Who says whether you live up here or are just visiting, remember, respectively, you're not alone.
Yeah, of course, they're protecting their babies. That's what it's about.
According to CPW, this incident marks the third known moose attack on a person this year. The first happened in Breckenridge on May 26th, and the second happened in Grand Lake on May 31st. Now, some good news to report tonight. An Arkansas couple formerly missing in Colorado has been found safe. Robert and Mary Jane Bowman had traveled to Colorado for a camping trip, but family members became concerned after they hadn't heard from the couple in over a week. The Bowmans, both in their 70s, had told family they were leaving Great Sand Dunes for a mountain area, although they didn't say where. But the sheriff's office in Alamosa County, where the Bowmans were last seen camping, are announcing the couple was found in Creede, Colorado after a citizen tip sent authorities in the right direction. Officials say the Bowmans are now safe and sound. And for those of you that entered to win a $200 gas card, we now have tonight's winner. Congratulations to Becky Rogers. You've won a $200 gas card. You have until the end of the newscast to claim your card by calling 242-5000. And be sure to leave a voicemail. You have 2 weeks to pick up the card. And if you at home would like your own chance to win a $200 gas card, you can simply enter by heading to westernslopenow.com or go to Ed Bozarth Mark Miller Chevrolet Buick. And when we come back, we'll take a look at our full forecast. Stay with us.